introductions. I'm Cole.
I'm Brian.
Oh, you roboted Brian. Do that again.
Yep.
I'm Brian.
I'm Ian.
I'm
Also
that other guy.
not a robot.
Oh, is it me now?
Oh, yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I am
it's you.
Tina.
And hi, I'm Cole.
God damn it, Cole! You had one job! It was to remember that you did not have one job.
What?
I can't believe you've done this.
That's first of all, you open up with the exact same joke every single time, Ian. And second of all, you actually messed it up this time.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
Do I know?
We've been doing this podcast a long time. We have yet to get this right once.
Can we get it right once, please? Like right now? Can we just get this right?
All right, here.
Let's
do the whole thing again, guys. Wait, hang on. Let's do the whole thing again.
We need to shout out to Bo. We need to shout out to our tech.
Yeah,
Bo.
Bo's here. Our tech.
This is
guy.
this is my favorite time of day because I get to hit go live, mute myself, and sit back and eat my pizza.
But
enjoy the fire.
Here, let me propose something. How about we stop what we're doing and we go through the whole thing again and we get it right this time.
All right.
Why?
Okay. Hold on, guys. We got to go back to the disclaimer here. Are you guys ready for this?
Oh god. Oh god.
Okay, I'm ready. Disclaimer, please.
Okay. Live.
All right.
God, you're such a robot, bro.
No, you messed it up. We're going back to the disclaimer.
No,
go back.
No, we're not.
All right. My name is Cole.
God damn it, Brian! God! I usually have to do this to Cole, but god damn it,
Brian went. It's fine.
Brian.
I'm Ian.
Oh, he
Who
died.
may or may not also
Brian
be a robot
died.
in disguise.
I like how we tried to do it again, and it goes even worse.
It was definitely better the first time.
How could it get any worse?
Oh my god.
Let's just move on.
I mean, well, we can't without Brian.
Oh.
We gotta wait for him. In the meantime,
well, I'm the other B name, Bo. So hi.
Oh,
yeah, somebody said Bo ? It's BEAU, and it's our lovely, amazing Winter and Ilya and head admin. You do something wrong, they're gonna ban you with the hammer.
Yep.
Oh, hey guys, guess what?
Chicken butt.
Cole. I can't believe you've done this.
But
oh god,
can you? I mean, it's pretty believable. Let's be honest here.
Brian, is that you?
Hey, welcome back, Brian.
Have you returned from beyond the grave? Speak to me.
I have.
Oh god, he's been brought back as a robot.
He's a Terminator. Shoot him.
No, I'm going to speak his language. Wait,
he's the nemesis.
He's been uploaded to the jail network.
Do not speak. I wish to speak to him. Domo arigato, Mr. Robot.
What the fuck is happening? What is happening?
I don't know. Does mother knowest you weareth her drapes?
Hello, my name is Julian Chase, and I'm a Genlock survivor.
I'm upset.
Did you guys hear robot body?
Did you guys
What
hear
is
me?
this?
Did you guys hear me slam the door?
Oh my god.
What is happening?
Am I understandable?
No.
Ish.
If you speak nemesis, then sure.
Cool.
You guys are a problem.
Brian's just like, cool.
Okay. Shall we dive
And
into
this is where I mute myself on the stream and then talk shit to them for the rest of the podcast because you guys can't hear me.
I mean,
Let
accurate.
me mute myself while I'm typing.
Okay, so spoilers.
Oh yeah. So
Spoilers for Genlock.
all right. Let me go ahead and start this off. Everyone here. if you have not watched Genlock, it's okay. I mean, I don't think you should watch. You should watch this podcast. It's okay. You can go leave. Please, for the love of God, go to Rooster Teeth, make a first account, watch this show. It's such a good show. It's so good. It's so well written. It's beautiful. The audio is fantastic. The characters are great. I love it so much, and all of you need to see it. Right? So please, please, please go to Rooster Teeth, make a first account. It's super cheap to make a first account. If you get the $16 for 6 months, that's like less than $3 a month. That's very cheap. Like,
And your first month is free.
Yeah, your first month is free. And you also you get great shows like Genlock. Genlock is amazing. I love it so much. You get the episodes of RWBY a week early. I think you'll get RWBY Chibi a week early when that starts coming out. And it's fantastic. Go make your first account. Go watch Genlock, please. It's so good.
And if you can, and if you want more bang for your buck, go to Verve and get it there, where you can also get Geek and Sundry and a bunch of other awesome channels whose name I'm currently spacing, but also include High Dive and Crunchyroll.
I just say straight up support Rooster Teeth the best way you can. Like, go find somewhere, donate to them guys, send them food and love them. All of that.
Like,
That
just go to the Rooster Teeth offices, take a box, and just kind of live in front of stage 5.
Like, I just want to take a moment to say that every single penny, like any production, the money that goes into the production is going to keep the production going. So support what you love, my dudes. Don't pirate it. Don't use your friend's first account, no matter how cheap you think you are. Like, spend the money. Support the company if you love it, because if you don't, stuff won't continue. Just saying. It's a very real possibility, because you and 50,000 other people got the same bright idea, and that's 50,001 people not paying for a first account. You know how much money that is? They had to pay someone to do this. Go do it.
We're not sponsored.
We're not sponsored.
We're
just
just
avid fans.
very, very passionate fans, and you all should go watch it.
Support.
And now on to the show
Official
in its
release.
normal
All
state.
right, now that we've sucked Rooster Teeth dick, let's
Guys, I want you to know that the first 10
Let's,
minutes of this podcast is bullcrap.
Okay.
When is it
I want you to know that I don't suck dick, but
before we
Rooster
jump into
Teeth's
the
dick is when it
podcast,
sucked.
before we jumped into the podcast too heavily, I want to preface here at the beginning of the podcast that we are going to be following a new show after Genlock. We're going to.
I don't understand any of
couple
this. Is it breaking up
hiatus.
for anyone else?
Brian, how about
Yes.
you let me? So,
Okay, go
after-
ahead.
yeah, you're a little better, but should things go back after Genlock is over? Well, Genlock is actually over after this episode, but we will be doing a new show of the newest anime season when that starts in the next several weeks. We will be coming to you with further details in the coming weeks, so please stay tuned on the Krwby Productions Discord channel, which I'm sure you can find in the description
Links
below
below.
this video.
Also, more importantly,
Ace Face has arrived in the form of Brian.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Poor Brian. Can't believe Brian died.
He's really upset about it.
Ian, you might
It's
have to
very
take the
funny.
reins, because poor Brian is he's
Yeah,
going hard in
yeah.
Genlock right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Uh,
man. I can't believe my best friend was replaced by a Terminator.
Okay, well,
But yeah,
what I'm
we
gonna do, I think Source Connect is pulling too much bandwidth. So I'm gonna leave Source Connect. Everybody unmute me on Discord.
What?
Okay.
it's happening.
Okay.
Hey, Brian, say something.
All right, say words, Brian. You sound way worse on Discord. All right.
I can't.
So
hear him on
we
Discord.
apologize for the technical difficulties and the extended memeing, everybody. We hope you understand.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Actually, a
Oh,
lot, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Unmute
right.
him in Discord, Bo.
Yeah.
Oh, that means
That
you
also
said-
means nobody in the stream heard him either.
Okay, I'll start over again. So if you guys are fans of anime and you're going to be watching anime next season, if there's anything you're interested in following, any shows that you're looking forward to, like maybe the return of Attack on Titan or something like that, be sure to let us know what you guys will be watching, because we haven't decided what we're going to be following yet. So let us know what you guys would like us to follow. And we'll
Wait,
talk
when is
more
the
about that at
next-
the end of the podcast.
When does the next anime season
About
start?
the start of April, but we'll get into that later.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty close.
All right. So now that I'm not Julian Chase, hey guys, guess what? Did you know Migas is alive?
Hey, Brian, I need you to say who you are not, but use the proper name, please.
What the fuck?
He wants to
What's
say Ace
happening?
Face.
I want you to say the proper name, please.
Oh my... Are we really gonna do this now?
I want you to say the proper name, please.
Cole! We're just starting to get some momentum here.
I want you to say the correct name, please, Brian.
Cole,
Oh.
come on.
I accidentally had you muted, so I didn't know what you said.
Brian, I want you to say that again, but say the correct name, please.
Now that I'm not Ace Face.
Thank you. We can continue. now.
Did we really have to just stop for that,
Yes.
Yes,
No.
we did. Okay,
No.
moving along.
My
children,
God,
can
this
we reel it in?
this podcast is a fucking mess. All right.
So is your
uh,
Cole, I'm gonna ban you from the server.
No, he went robot again.
I'm gonna ban you from the server.
You can't do that. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't.
I want you to know people are saying to do it, so I feel like they're challenging me. Everyone, put your F's in chat for Cole.
Vox Populi, Vox Dei, Cole.
Mock me one more time, watch what happens.
So, I think y'all are gonna need to take the lead on this podcast.
All right. So, hey, guys, you know that Migas is alive? I totally didn't just steal that line from Brian.
Yeah.
They're
Crunk
alive?
lives.
I want you to
Yeah.
know, like, everyone's alive, okay? Just
He's
saying.
alive. And they talked
Except
about...
Weller.
Except the doctor. 'cause
Oh my God,
fuck
Brian.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So they apparently the doctor. So first of all the sympathizers with the Union have this like chip inside of them. I think it was, and it means that Ace face in the chat, please. But that means that that everyone who has that chip in them is immune to the nanobots. And so Dr. Weller, like the freaking genius he is, replicated it, and so that if I could words, that would be really cool. Replicated it and gave it to everybody working in the place that I forgot the name of, and
The
so
Anvil?
they're that. And so they were also immune to the nanobots, which is very interesting.
And we saw that
Interesting.
them in the very right. They're tanks, and the one guy that like shows a Union badge, like a little sort of forms around him almost. So
I'm like, this
theoretically, they
whole-
have that power now.
That's true. So, do you think that they'd ever kind of like figure that shit out and be like, no, we know this is a fake code. I don't know. It feels really sophisticated to be like, we just copied and pasted the code. Control V is a wonderful thing.
Well,
First of
Yeah,
all,
Control
it
C,
seems
Control
like that
V.
for the moment.
you know, Brian could tell you a lot about that.
I mean, Brian, what's it like being inside part
No.
of, you know?
No, I mean about Control C, Control V. Oh, well.
Brian.exe has stopped working. He'll be back in a moment when he's had time to reboot.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what is he gonna
But-
do? Like climb on his roof and put an antenna up or something? Be like, this is how we get you internet.
Can we
I don't
change
know,
the
he's a
video to a
Terminator, we'll
live
find
feed
out.
of Brian fixing his internet?
Back in my day, we climbed on the roof to fix the internet. Okay.
In any
Can-
case,
can we
though,
Okay, is that any better?
Oh,
100%. Brian, did you die?
Brian?
Hello?
Oh. Yeah,
are you
you're
from the
here.
future?
Oh.
I don't know. Am I?
Hey
Yes.
Brian, who is doing this in their mic?
I don't
hope
know.
I'm not.
Someone did for like a second, and I just heard it.
Weird.
That was me.
Oh, rude.
Oh. Well, all right. So
Let's get some momentum going here, shall we?
Yes.
All right, tell us about the good times. Can we let the good times roll?
Oh my god,
Ah.
Tina, you're going to make me cry.
Listen, keep moving forward.
Damn it!
You just need to let it go.
Ah!
Okay, now that one's just dumb.
Listen, I don't need to
Moving
fall to pieces
on.
over this.
Moving
lose an
on.
arm.
Moving on, please.
So Mingus is alive.
Yes.
Why are we
Oh,
sitting
this is a-
all the time I was fixing my internet? You haven't
No,
gotten past the fucking
no,
fact that Mingus is
No,
alive.
no,
Stop,
Brian,
stop,
Brian.
stop.
I talked about
Hold
the
on.
nanobots.
I
and
did
their
too.
immunity.
He did.
Oh wait, can we talk about that epic fight scene though? Oh
Yes.
That's a bit of a jump, but yes.
Yes,
we can.
Anything to get us talking about anything. But yes, the fight.
So,
Like, we see them get their new mechs and their new upgrades.
So let's talk about something here for just a moment, okay? So the Union. So first of all, I do not understand why Migas wasn't trying to call them sooner. And second of all, like the Union is making a move on Chicago, which is, I guess, why Migas was calling them.
I'd like to think that he's probably been calling them before then, but they've been a little busy with dealing with the nanobots and other things to prioritize their rescue at the moment.
Crow is right here. Hello. Somebody in the chat is asking where Crow is.
And also, there's a little moment where Cal recognizes Weller's ex-wife.
Mhm.
Like, and he like waves to her, like he's like, "Hey, honey, I'm still here. I can't joke anymore, but I'm here." Also, I have a mute function. You'll probably find that useful.
wow.
Yeah,
Also-
it comes in more handy than I first thought it would be expected.
Also, Kemi gives her little robot rabbit thing to the other scientist. I guess as like a keepsake. I get, to like she's not taking it with her. I think is the implication, but like she specifically hands it over to the scientist dude. Wow, what was his name? Henry.
Yep.
Pro ZD.
Yep, it is Pro ZD. And then
So that was
everything went quiet. Why did it go quiet after we say that? What? Okay.
I have opinions. Just saying.
We were kind of just wondering what we
God.
might jump to afterwards, but yes, Kemi does give away her personal companion.
Whose phone is
temporarily.
going off?
I love Nugget.
His name is Nugget.
Oh my god! All right, we're
Dude,
not
okay.
gonna go on a tangent about Nugget, but let's move on.
I have a model
Oh
of
my
Nugget
god,
already.
his name is Nugget.
I have a 3D model of Nugget.
Cole,
Fight me.
contain yourself. You can
That's
break
so
yourself on other hilarious memes later.
That's amazing.
Okay, so stuff.
So okay, but so after Mikas calls them, they decide they upload. They get their ship ready, and then they go to fight Nemesis. Oh no, wait, I got it wrong. His name is Ace Face. They go to fight Ace Face, and wait, actually no, we need to talk about Chase and Miranda talking because they talk.
Yeah,
They talk for a little bit beforehand, right?
they talk after.
Yeah, not before. before the battle.
The thing that happens before they leave is the handing off of the of Nugget, and also they paint the ship with the name Renegade on it.
They do. They paint the ship, and then they're like, "Oh, how are we going to go fight this thing?" And they all go with Julian's plan, which is apparently the simple but effective.
Oh yeah.
Simple but effective answer of, well, we'll just taunt him, and then that'll work. And if it doesn't, I don't know.
I mean,
Improvise.
Improvise, yes.
I mean, that's fair. But yeah, I agreed with what Caliban said. Simple but effective, and that's just kind of how he rolls. But so then they. Oh, Brian, were you trying to speak?
Ace Face, can you hear us?
Can you hear us, Ace Face? Ace Face?
Oh dear God.
Ace Face?
I loved it.
Face!
While Ace Face is figuring out life, I really loved the new armor because we get to see it in action. Though
At
I'm
last.
kind of a little bit disappointed we don't get to see that huge fight scene that was in the opening. Like, are you guys one of those people that when you don't see a fight sequence in the show, you're a little bit upset, or they show something in the opening and you're like, oh, when's this gonna happen? They did it with Ruby last season too, but that's another topic, where they don't really show things as they happen, and you're like, but I wanna see this in the show. This is such a lead up. Show me it in the show.
So like the stuff in the
that was
intro,
kind of
not in. It's
not actually in
things that
the
happen
thing.
but it's just
Like, I'll be honest, that opening is so kick butt. It's so catchy, but I'm really sad
Oh,
that I
I've
get
listened to it
see
so many times.
that cool battlefield scene. But we do get to see this cool battle between Nemesis and the team, where it eventually progresses to a point where they run out of uptime and they have to make a tough call, or rather Julian makes a tough call to ultimately give up his ability to return back to his rather decrepit body, which honestly wasn't much of a choice in my opinion, because
before we get to the uptime thing, first of all, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, you sound like garbage.
I bet I do, but this is the only way I can talk with y'all, so...
Let's not bitch about it, shall we?
we can in fact hear you, for better or worse.
Yeah, I'm on my phone mic now, so...
Oh, man. Why don't you just hotspot your phone to your computer?
That's what I was doing, Cole.
Oh.
Oh.
anyway,
Shall we
okay,
just
but
proceed?
So before we get to all of that, first of all, I wanted to just have a little sound design shout out. That moment where Nemesis fucking flies
Ace Face?
where Ace Face fucking flies in to the rail yard, like flies across the screen. Sound design in that moment, oh my god, so good.
Did you pop a boner?
I mean, look, you don't know my life.
Listen, I'm not king shaming you here. I just need to know.
I mean, but why do you need to know?
Do you need to know?
No, I don't. I don't want to know. But I know. I know just from that answer what the answer is. Nut. Oh.
Nut.
I think.
I mean,
the best way I can sum it up is fucking Motoyasu's reaction to Philo in episode 9 of Shield Hero.
Yes, that is. I would know.
Okay, so boner confirmed.
So Brian, let me get this straight. You feel the same way about that sound design
Don't
that a
spoil
grown
anything,
man
I swear.
feels about for a lolly.
That's concerning.
On second thought, that was not a good comparison.
No, it wasn't, Brian. You want to rephrase that?
Bo, that's fucking beautiful. Bo goes, every time Brian makes an obscure anime reference that I don't get, me, K. Oh, that's a mood. Okay, so that was a phenomenal sound design moment, but I really loved the, the dynamic of the fight scene. Everything flowed so well in those moments, even when they had that sort of breakaway within themselves. That whole scene was just boy, you want to talk about you popped a boner for that sound? Well, I popped a boner for that fight scene. Okay.
I'll tell you what I'll tell you what I did pop a boner for. I popped a boner for that fucking Ace face animation. Like, they made him all like spider-like and shit. Oh my god, it was so cool.
He just keeps getting
Did you
upgraded.
just-
Like, he's got more and more arms and.
Cole, don't question it.
Tina, did you just confirm that you're a furry?
What?
Is that
What?
just happened?
I said I popped a boner for the fight scene.
Oh, I thought you said fursuit.
Oh my
You popped
god.
a boner for that
Because I
fursuit,
saw what Bo was saying in
Whew.
chat, and I heard fight scene, which has the same first letters as fursuit.
Wow.
Cole, you're killing me, Smalls.
I have to say though, like, no lie, I
Listen.
love Cammy's design, and I'm just saying she's amazing. Okay,
Oh yeah, she is.
I'm gonna do my own little stupid things, and it's gonna be great. I'm gonna make a character model. I don't even know how to character model, and I'm just gonna run around as Cammy telling everyone F this, F that, and be
Tina,
like, watch
do
your
you
fucking
have a-
language. I'd be
Tina,
like,
do
no,
you-
don't tell me what to do. It's just fine.
Do you have a lady boner for Cammy? Is that what's happening right now?
Oh man, let me tell you about my lady boner for her. I'd be like, boop, pop it right out. It killed Cole.
Yep.
All right, we need
Just
any
got-
chicken nugget. What the fuck we do next? Okay, quick, go away. He's dying.
Cole.exe has stopped working. Move
All right,
on.
Cole, I got a real question for you. Do you want any fluffer nuggets for dinner?
Ugh.
Okay, you ruined everything.
So
Clearly.
hey, the worst happens. Chase succeeds uptime, and
Oh my
like
God,
he can't
you're
return to his body.
You
And
know,
how,
Go back.
like, is it because he doesn't have much of a body? So,
It
Well,
yeah.
I think right before that scene, right, he has like a talk with everyone, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna exceed up time. You can't do that." And he's like, "Ah, it's okay. What do I need that body
I mean,
for, anyways?" And Yaz and
he's
him
being
have an
honest.
interesting moment, I think, right?
I swear, they're fucking pushing him and Yaz so hard. It's like they want us to ship them.
I-
You know,
like, I
on
mean,
board
to,
at this
to be
point, but-
fair, they kind of talked as though Chase and Miranda no longer feel anything for each other.
That
Because
was
they're
kind of
different
yeah.
people, right? That's what I got.
and you know, I mean,
yeah.
obviously there's something said later on, but yeah, I think that's how it's interpreted early on, and then when they have the conversation that they have, you're like, okay, these guys have grown apart, and you know, she says both two people died that night,
Yeah.
Chase and Miranda. So
They're different people now.
Yeah.
Most notably, one of them is digital, but
So, in which case, it would stand to reason that Yaz and Chase could perhaps be a thing.
I ship it.
I
You know,
think
I-
that's where they're going. With
I
yeah.
agree.
Considering they could just share each other's minds for a few brief moments for intimacy, I can see it happening.
They could.
I
I'll do a reference that Bo gets. They can sensate that shit.
I wonder how long, if they mind meld, how much of that crosses over, how much of each other do they kind of become? Like we see for that little bit of an instance with the fight scene, Val learns how to play guitar afterwards, which is, it's really nifty, but how much of like personal, in-depth memories get crossed the longer they do that? For someone now like Chase, who's now kind of stuck in this state of existing. I like that he was still able to go to like the hollow form or whatever, but will that really affect him more? Will he be able to dive into those memories more thoroughly, or will he even be able to like kind of like lock them away if he doesn't want to have any part of them? Like how much of himself will he lose in the process?
Well, that was sort of his worry and why he was the last one to want to do the whole mind melding thing, right? Everybody else had like at some point in this episode or the and Chase just didn't want to do it. He just didn't want to
Yeah.
do it because he was
I
like, what else?
wonder-
I only have, this brain, right?
Do you think that well, you know what, that's a prediction thing. I'm not gonna say that yet. I'm gonna say like mech stuff.
Hey, you know who else was in a Holon? I think Bo called this. Leon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm unmuting because yes, I fucking did. Yes, I fucking did. Real fast because you guys kind of skipped it. Can I add something real fast about that first fight? before they split off.
Yeah.
Is something that I noticed actually, is all of the different mind share moments that have happened have been, what was it? It was first, it was, well, technically the first one was Cammy and Yaz when Cammy lost her head. The second one was, Cammy and Val. And then there was a bunch of them happening. It was, Yaz or Val and Kazu in the big fight and whatnot. And then this one had Cammy and Kazu and then Val and Yaz all mind melding before the big, them all kind of getting into that big group call. The interesting thing is that everyone except for the ones that have to do with Cammy, they're some form of dance. Almost kind of very reminiscent, in my opinion, of how the gems fuse in Steven Universe. Like how they have to dance to kind of be able to meet that same wavelength. But with Cammy, once Cammy is involved, it's all hand holding. It's almost like a very deliberate, in my opinion, a very deliberate way of respecting the fact that she's a kid, because the dances are very shippy almost, you know.
And that's fair.
I think that was I think that's a really cool little touch that they did there.
Yeah.
I like how nobody's pointing out that I super chatted.
You're not. No, get out. You're banned. I'm banning you from the server now.
It was for a good cause, okay?
Jesus.
I really can't get over the that whole fight scene though. It was all like a song and a dance. Every little bit of it. And like I said, it had this great flow to it. And I don't know if people really can appreciate Rooster Teeth's animation here. Do you guys remember where they came from? I remember when Red versus Blue was a thing, and I never watched it because, it was whatever. But then they moved on. They started animating eventually. They're doing other things. They started, Ruby came to be, this is, I feel like, I don't want to say the pinnacle of their work, but it's really a highlighting production. I thought I wouldn't like this show at first, and I've absolutely fallen in love with it.
One of the things that I think is really hard to explain to other Rooster Teeth fans sometimes, right, is Rooster Teeth fans tend to have a pretty high standard for their action because of Monty Ohm. Mm-hmm. And we had so many people, even during Volume 6, there were loads of really good fight scenes in Volume 6, and people were still going, I'd have to go in and remind people, I'm like, okay, but it's only okay because you have Monty Ohm as a reference. For any other show, this would be fucking top tier.
Yeah, and I think, to be fair, Monty was a phenomenal animator. He was prodigy level, I would say. For being somebody who kind of dove into it, the way that he did, he was a prodigy at what he did, and there's no arguing that, I would say. Sure, everyone's got room for improvements, but he had such a great understanding of the field angle and delivering a scene effectively. So
and he had such a great understanding of how to make a fight really flow and make it interesting and really make all the characters have their moments that were really kind of characteristic of who they were and their fight styles, and really just kind of tell the story through the fight. And that's a very difficult thing to do, and he was a master of it. And even if the fights, I can still feel, even in Genlock, I still feel a bit of that inspiration, I think, from Monty.
Did you guys see the tweet that Neith put out about putting Keep Moving Forward in?
Yeah, I did.
That was such. I mean, it's not related to this episode, but I thought that was a really beautiful touch from Rooster Teeth to kind of pay that little bit of homage to Monty. And then, of course, Neith gave a shout out to that, saying, it's so awesome to see that in there. Guys, thank you for doing that. Because they didn't have to, but they did, and I think it's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal motto. And
I think that that's kind of become not
it's
just
a staple.
Ruby's motto, but it's I think it's that is that's RT Animation's motto, I think.
Yeah.
Like, that's a part of them. But yeah, so in any case, Miranda has this like moment where she like literally hops out of her strider to like stop Ace Face, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, Ace Face stops for like a brief moment, and then Miranda's like, "Oh fuck this shit."
What have I done?
Um, but they all meld minds. They beat down Ace Face, and then Chase fucking like avatars him. Like,
Yep.
do you remember that? Like in the Last Airbender finale, where like,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you better not say anything.
Oh yeah, some guys haven't seen it. Some guys haven't seen it. Like they're watching Bo and
y'all
Cole
are
are
so
watching through it.
fucking
You
late to
can't
the
use that
party.
reference. I'm so sorry.
Y'all are so fucking late to the party. It's been over a decade, guys.
Believe it or not, I actually understand that reference. Just saying.
I mean, I sure don't.
Okay,
Sucks
well let's
to
not say it for
suck.
Cole, but hopefully all you other guys have seen Avatar to know where that was going. But yeah, so they do a thing. But he does, yeah. He's just like straight up like, let me just yoink this shit from you. You don't need it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
throws that out like, yo, Cammy, do your thing.
Yep. And now this is kind of one of the things that I was a little bothered by in this ending sequence. I mean, we'll get into it. Like once we get through the entire episode, we can kind of talk more in depth about what we liked and what we didn't like. But because there were actually a number of issues that I had with this episode. Probably more issues with this episode than I've had with any other episodes of the show thus far. But the like one of my issues with this
Oh.
is the fact that, like,
Oh.
oh no.
Oh.
You're
Can you just tell your
right.
internet to go fuck itself? Usually that fixes it.
Hey, internet, go fuck yourself.
All right, say
It's
something.
gotten better
Did
already.
it work?
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of worked actually. Cool.
Ish.
So one
You
of
spoke
the
too
things
soon.
that I
Brian's internet, go fuck yourself.
cool.
Oh my god.
Just
Can we get an F in the chat, please?
bum, 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 bum.
Trying, man.
I don't even know if there's anything we could do. Hang on. All right, say something now, Brian. Oh, that's a negative Ghost Rider.
Oh no.
Did he die? Oh, he typing now. Keep talking. Okay, we're supposed to keep talking. Hi,
Well,
guys. How's it going?
Yeah. So the interesting thing about this time was they just extracted the information out of him. They was just, I think that was supposed to be like their mental like their mental prowess just forcing itself into his mind, which is kind of scary if you think about that.
Do
He is
you
broken.
Oh, welcome back. Do you think it's like a permanent effect? Like that because he did that, there's like this permanent sort of like almost like virus that's like hidden, locked away. Because they're digital. I mean, he hit him. There's that line on his face. Maybe he's gonna
Oh,
go
you mean
crazy,
at the
cuckoo.
very end when a creepy Chase touches regular Chase and like
Says
That
kill the
sounded too
goes
copies.
all
explicit
glowy?
for me.
I think that means
hated
that there
that.
might be, like, if I were the Union, I'd have done the same thing as Dr. Weller. I think they made more copies of Chase.
Well, they
Yeah.
confirmed that, right?
Yeah.
Did they?
Because like immediately after Nemesis touches him,
No.
fine. Ace Face touches
Thank
him,
you.
and like maybe downloads a virus or something. Chase gets up and he's like an army of these same red versions of himself, and
Yeah.
and the guy tells him this copy says, "Oh, I'm just one copy. You have to kill all of these, right?"
Yeah.
Like his dying wish is like, "Okay, good job. You put me out of my misery, but there's more of me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dozens
What I'm
and
interested in-
dozens of them.
I'm interested to see what kind of personalities these. I'm gonna say these personalities that are derived from Chase V 1.0, because
I
if
wanna.
No.
I want to know. I want to know what they did to him. Like, I really want to know how much of it was actually him, and how much of it was something that was like this brainwashed or tortured thing. Like, how can you torture a robot? I mean, sure they feel, but after a while, I mean, they could just shut it off. Like,
mind.
Well, I
I mean,
mean,
that's
he's
true.
not just a
Mind.
robot, though. He's a human mind, just digitized. So anything you could do to a human mind, you could theoretically, I think, do to these.
And more because it's digitized. You can fucking upload viruses and shit.
Well, right, like at the end of the fight there, I was gonna say, whoever brought up the AIs from RVB last time, I think that's a direction they may very well go with this. I mean, if you've made dozens and dozens of copies of him, you could experiment with some and play around with their code and see what happens and see what results you get.
I wonder, like, on a scientific level, what it would be like to play with the code of a human brain. Like, what does that look like? Like, on a scientific level,
man.
and how much can you screw with it? Like, I feel like
So-
that's entirely...
That-
They Frankenstein his brain, I feel like.
that sounds
wait,
like
so
somebody
what
who
I'm
likes to
hearing-
play God.
What I'm hearing, what I'm hearing is in the future we've got Chase versus Church confirmed.
Yes.
Tina, this is how
Yes,
supervillains are made. Welcome to the dark side. I will lead the world up.
Says the potato.
But now that I'm back, it seems like kind of. What I wanted to say was that one of the things that I had an issue with this episode was that after they do the whole after they avatar his Ace Face's mind, he just like when they start like cutting him down and whatnot, like he just kind of sits there and takes it, like he doesn't really fight back, and to me that just made the whole thing seem kind of anticlimactic.
I mean, after
They
they
did
took away
that,
his nano powers.
Yeah, like
They kind of Power Rangered it. Like, to be honest, they had like this almost Power Ranger sequence, and then like they have this, we're gonna do exactly what you think we're gonna do. Bop, bop, bop. No nanos. Beat him up. Blast him up.
yeah.
And we win the day. Dramatic explosions in the background. We high five. Someone's kind of injured, but it's a good day.
I could
We're
hear the
taking the
sound
front.
effects happening as I watch it.
I literally said when I was watching it with Bo, like, this is totally a Power Ranger sequence, because they all like held hands, they merged together, and just like these lights shoot up, and I'm like, hey.
Yeah.
Go Power. Nope, we'll get copyrighted for that.
Beep, beep, beep. Tell me,
yeah,
please
it
tell
was
me I'm
like-
wrong. Did anyone else see the Power Rangers thing? Or is it just me?
No, you're 100% right, because like, see, I kind of like interpreted it as like My Hero Academia almost, where like everything kind of culminates in one big hit. In this instance, like the one big hit was like them screwing with his brain, and so after that happened, like literally, like, so I'm not wrong, right? The only thing that they did there was they extracted the nanotech data.
I think that's all they did.
So why did he become a giant wuss after that happened?
I think they were still overwhelming him mentally at the time, and it was getting such to the point that it was getting a little hard for him to concentrate on resisting them and moving his Holon body at the same time.
I mean, I think it was more of like they needed to cut screen time, and he needed to go down faster. But sure, let's go with that.
I mean, it did feel a little anticlimactic in the fight. Like, he's this big, intimidating character that's like tearing them limb from limb, and now in the end, he's just like, I'm a potato.
I mean, I agree with that point. I just think that's the explanation they would be going with.
I feel like he would have been fast. He would have been able to swing, even one armed. Like, I'm sure he could do some serious damage. And it felt like he kind of just gave up, maybe like for whatever reason. But what also kind of got me is how Chase kind of takes him up, drops him down, and is sitting there this moment with him. And I feel like Chase is the kind of person who would try to redeem someone or try to like pull him back or do whatever. And all he was thinking about is like, I need to kill this other one. Like he exactly what Nemesis or Ace Face was trying to do.
Okay, I was about
And it
to-
felt
about
so. I don't want to say uncharacteristic, but I feel like he'd be like, we need to just work together. Like, I'm here for you, man. I'm you. I know you. And just have this moment and be
I
gay
think-
with himself. But that didn't happen.
Well, I think what he realized is that you know, his copy, or I guess he's the copy. So the original version of him, you know, Ace Face was he didn't really want to be an evil robot, right? Like at the very end, he kind of has almost a Darth Vader moment. I don't know, it wasn't really a Darth Vader moment, but he tells Chase, hey, there's more of me. You have to kill them too, right? That's not a he didn't have to say that. Right.
But I wonder if he was so tortured, like he just wanted to die, but at the same time, like he just kind of, I felt like he just let it happen. Maybe he did want to just be like, or maybe Brian's right. Maybe they needed to cut screen time, and they're just like, cool, this is a good, like, I don't want to say a cop out, but it felt very anticlimactic, and it kind of sucked because they had this really cool fight scene before. Maybe they didn't want to drag it out, but he felt like he just kind of stood there and took it. Like,
Well,
we're like, all right, you kid, just stand right here as.
I'll talk about it a little bit later, but it felt to me like this episode should have been at least 3 episodes.
So here's the thing. I mean I agree. I think it could have been longer, but the reason he fell so quickly after they took away his nanotech is because he was using it so much in the fight. It was very central to the way he was fighting, right?
And not when they were at the rail yard though. Like he was using it,
but
he
was using it a lot. Like he
used it a lot later. But
he
in that fight, like he was anticipating their moves and shit, like. And like completely, like he was using it, but he was using it a lot more, I think, initially for attack rather than defense.
Mm-hmm.
And so like he was still like wrecking shop, like, and kind of just using the nanotech as support in the beginning of the fight. He started using it more heavily later. They set him up to be like this super badass, like can take him on even without the aid of this new nanotech that he had. But like after, like, I mean, even before he had that nanotech, right? Like he was still like a major threat. The other times that they had seen him, they had still had a really hard time taking him down. And then in those final moments, like once they disabled the nanotech, it was like they took him down like he was a fucking toy car.
Well, no. So here's the thing. All of his weapons were nanotech. All of them. They were all nanotech. That's like, all of them were nanotech.
But like you realize he has claws, right? And like 8 arms.
And you realize that all of those arms were nanotech.
They weren't all to start
I think
with.
I think only because there's
the one arm faded away.
Only one arm was nanotech because in the rail yard fight, this is a great scene. It's just a side note, but like Kazuya throws his sword up in the air and then Kami like jumps on it and chops the guy's arm off. So that's why he was using nanotech to make that arm, because he lost it earlier.
But his bladed sword weapons were,
but everything else
nanotech.
Still, like,
that's not what made him so deadly.
I think he had at least one arm left. Maybe he lost a couple more in the end of that fight. But
I think James in the chat made a good point where he probably wanted to live and die at the same time. As screwed as his brain was. Like,
I mean, that's fair, but also from a storytelling perspective, I don't know. I just found it anticlimactic.
I mean,
yeah, sure. I have to agree. I'm a fan of a good fight scene, as well as a good plot driving, moments. But I love the song and dance of a fight, and I think that's what made early Ruby so great with Monty. Just kind of as a reference, we were talking about fight scenes. He was a phenomenal dancer, had a great understanding of the song and dance, and I love that with Genlock. I feel like they've captured that, and even this last volume of Ruby, it all flowed really well, and the animation again, like I have to applaud because the song and dance was there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, like I think it was partly their episode budget. This fight feels like it should have been a battle.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think they wanted to drag it out. But as Brian said, it should have been split up more. I think they tried to put too much, and get the important details in, but kind of left a lot of room. They left a lot of spaces, or rather, they didn't leave a lot of spaces to have good story. Instead, they just kind of like, okay, well, here's this cool fight scene, and here's this last one. We're gonna make it really short and just call it a day. Cool.
Yeah, I think the entire shows had that issue. Like we were talking earlier about how Kemi's sort of her story of, sort of getting used to being in combat was like one episode.
Yeah, Kemi's entire arc happened in the space of one episode.
Exactly. Normally you might spread that out across a few episodes of a show, but when you only have 8 episodes to work with, they kind of had to cram. So
I have to say, like, all in all, I really wish they were able to have more time in a single season to do more and establish more, because this is a great story. You have so many great elements, but I think there's just not enough time. And yeah, Bo's right. There was no time for filler, and sometimes I think the filler's kind of needed. Like, you kind of got to build these characters, and obviously people came attached to them in their own ways. But there's such a unique and diverse cast that I think get to blossom really well.
I would like to, like, I mean, yeah, there's no time for filler, but also, like, a lot of people seem to think that character development is filler. It's definitely not.
No, I think it's just...
Like, and I think that, like, I consider Attack on Titan Season 2 to be filler.
And
like,
I think what I'm saying is not that you need filler to have character development, but filler kind of lets these characters exist in an environment where they're not faced with these the crazy life-death threatening things, where you just kind of have a moment, like an episode or a moment where things are kind of just either relaxed or it's a different small thing. You can kind of see how they handle different situations instead of life-death, fight, go, whatever. I feel like it's a great opportunity to explore a character more, not necessarily needed to advance the character, but it's just a great way to kind of dig a little deeper that maybe you can't necessarily do in a regular plot line as well. Sometimes when it's just go, 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 you don't get a chance to stop and see how beautiful the scenery is in that moment. And I think that's what filler can be at times. A moment to stop and watch the grass grow or smell the roses. And in this beautiful way.
A moment to stop and have a beach episode.
Exactly. And I think, honestly,
get a beach episode.
I think Genlock would do it phenomenally. I love the way that all the story plays out, and there's all these little unanswered questions that I hope somewhere down the line we'll get answers to.
I love
we'll see.
All of these characters. I love
it's funny when everyone started like kind of picking their favorites. You always do that when you have multi-lead characters. You're like, all right, who's your favorite? And you're like, oh, this one's my favorite, or that one's my favorite. And everyone has a different reason. And for whatever reason, everyone loves Cammy, and she's where it's at. Okay, I'm just saying. I know Bo would say Val.
I mean, Val's great.
Val's hardcore. Like my sniping side on Overwatch says Val. Just saying. But then every other part of me say Cammy.
Mm-hmm.
Is Yaz Muslim? Is that a dumb question? Is she?
Likely. She's Persian, so probably. I don't know that they've addressed like her religion.
She might not actually be religious. Like she might be.
Yeah.
She spoke in Arabic in this episode.
Yeah, but that's the language of the area that does not necessarily delineate her religion.
No,
that's
fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
I am a Genlockian. Okay, let me tell you about my Lord and Savior, Genlock.
It's like that meme.
Can I tell you about our Lord and Savior, Rufus Weller?
Yeah, right up there.
And Weller came down to the peasants and handed the tablet to them and said, "Thou shalt not pass their uptime."
Oh, hijab? I don't know how to pronounce that.
I'm a Genlockian. I'm changing it. That's my religion now. Hang on, I gotta change my religion on Facebook to a Genlockian.
Like, it's kind of like that meme, allow me to introduce you to your religion. What is your religion? Then a picture, I'm interested.
I'm gonna do that. Can we coin that? I'm gonna put it on a shirt. Be like, I'm a Genlockian. Ask me about my Lord and Savior. Lord Weller. The late great Saint Weller.
Or you could buy a Genlock. You could buy a Genlock from roosterteeth.com/store.
Yeah, you could.
And support.
Okay,
Support the
quick
show.
mini tangent. I want you to know that my roommate's friend walked out of her bedroom, came into the kitchen, and he had a cockbite shirt on, and I was like, "Where did you get that shirt?" And he's like, "Rooster Teeth," and I'm like, "Oh!" He's like, "I don't think they sell it anymore." And I'm like,
Cole,
Yes,
Cole,
Brian?
you could, a way you could potentially phrase what you just said is, please support the official release.
This is
Yeah.
accurate.
And I mean, why aren't you guys? I mean, fix
Oh,
this.
I wanted to add it's pronounced hijab, and it was essentially kind of implied in the ether that maybe she was Muslim. I tried to say it in chat, but then Cole just said the word hijab and then didn't say anything else.
Well, either way. I mean, of course, that doesn't matter. But I was just curious because she spoke in Arabic, and I was like, huh.
So hey, Leon's in a coma. That sucks.
Oh,
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not best
Oh.
boy Leon.
Wait, guys. Can we get an F in chat, please? Just F in chat.
Okay, guys. Blaine Gibson is still alive somehow. Can we get an F in chat, please?
Wow.
Oh yeah, that after credits scene.
Not for
Like-
long.
How did that happen?
Just T.
So-
Well, you get the award
I-
for putting T.
Okay, like let me
For
say
Twitter.
another issue that I had, which, like, so Blaine Gibson Sinclair, I'm gonna call him Blaine
Yeah, Blaine. Nobody cares.
because it's Blaine. Like they even, like, I swear to God, they even fucking modeled him to look like Blaine. Like, so with Blaine showing up, like I took slight issue with that scene because, like, he runs away, like nobody would notice that he did that,
Mhm.
and then he goes and hides behind a dumpster and takes off his helmet for the sole purpose so that you can see who he is, not because he would actually do that.
Well, okay,
And then-
maybe
And then he says, and then he's like, "Oh, get it together, Sinclair." And then, like, fucking grabs. I was like, I knew what they were trying to do with that scene. It worked, but also I was like, it worked because you said it worked, not because it's believable.
So,
you know,
This
I
guy
would
is
kind
a
of
ranger.
really quick. I would actually kind of disagree, only because, like, he's beat up. Like, maybe he's like, shit, like, I'm stuck here. Like, we don't know the pretense of what's going on. He could be having to fake that he's here or whatever, having to do whatever it may be. And, like, to be honest, like, his face is fucked up, so something happened without the helmet on before. Could be fogged up. You've ever had a helmet on when you're bleeding and you're huffing and puffing real hard? Like, not saying these helmets are the best. Like, we don't know. Just saying. I think it makes sense. Like, if I'm running, I'm
Tina?
tired, I'm beat up,
Yeah,
I'm bleeding.
so-
I'd want to
Counterpoint?
take that off.
Counterpoint, Tina. This guy is a ranger.
I mean,
al-
but
other-
here,
Other
hang.
counterpoint. Other counterpoint. You are in a place. You are in the Union place where literally everybody wears helmets and nobody has a face. So if you are going and deliberately trying to hide from the Union, like he's hiding behind a dumpster, like, I can't let anybody see me, like he's clearly worried about people seeing him. If somebody did see him, would it not be better to keep the helmet on so that they wouldn't be like, oh my god, a dude without a helmet, fucking kill him?
So,
I mean, but to be
here,
fair-
hey, can I, real quick?
Yeah. okay.
My thought is, who doesn't want some fresh air? Like he's been running. I assume there's some way of breathing through the mask. Probably not the best way of breathing, and breathing probably feels better outside of the mask, right? So it would make sense if you just ran and you're like, I need to breathe, to take off your mask for a second. And to kind of like there's this thing on his face. He just needs to collect his thoughts. He's like, okay, I'm going to take this off. I need to remember that I'm real.
Yeah, I mean, Bo also said, too, as someone with claustrophobia, it makes sense for him to take his helmet off. He was panicking and needed to breathe. I can agree with that, but more so, like, you know, with the panicking, everything going on, like, you see he's bleeding under his left eye. Like, take that off, maybe wipe the sweat, maybe whatever off your face. Sure, he might not want people to see who he is. Looking at them, they can tell he is obviously Union, and not necessarily an infiltrator, but something's gone on to make him go away. Maybe all of his platoon just got killed. You know, maybe he's been forced kind of having to exist there, and maybe, you know, having to deal with it and afraid of the repercussions. Everyone else is dead. Maybe he's not. Like, we don't know what's kind of gone on. It could be somebody's attacking him. He's trying to get away.
Well, I think
that we're coming up. I think that we're coming up with excuses because we all know that the real reason they did it was because they wanted to show who it was.
Yeah, but they could justify it with anything. I think it's reasonable to assume he could have had, you know, panicking.
Oh my god.
You're a robot, so therefore your argument is invalid. Done. Moving on. Yeah, but I agree. It probably was just a plot point mover to show you that Sinclair is not dead. He's alive. Leaves this series, this season on a cliffhanger to go, how is Sinclair, this other person who's Genlock compatible, gonna get out from where he is? Because obviously he's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it seems,
And
so,
obviously, when are we going to see him in a Holon?
right. Well,
Brian's a copy.
No.
So they said Sinclair was part of. He wasn't part of the Union, right? He was part of Dr. Weller recruited him, and then this other guy showed up from the Union, right? But we don't know what happened to the original. We don't know why he's now in Union territory wearing a Union outfit. Is it possible that he was captured, held in prison or something, and he's now this is his escape, and he put on a guard uniform,
Maybe
get out the front door, and
maybe,
that's why
and I think he panicked.
Well,
he is confirmed not to be Union. When he comes out, he was replaced.
Can't believe Bo just spoiled The Force Awakens, which I have not seen. Thanks. Can't believe Bo just spoiled The Force Awakens.
I can't believe
honey.
Tina hasn't seen The Force Awakens.
I haven't. I've only seen a singular Star Wars. Fight me.
Tina!
a Star War, one Star War.
A singular one.
We can Cole, later.
You.
Later, Cole.
How could
Later.
you?
Jesus Christ, Cole, later.
I love when Brian robots. Don't you love when the Union takes a perfectly good man and turn him into Ace Face?
Jesus.
And now everyone's picking on me for only seeing one Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I wonder why, Tina.
Tina, I can't believe you've done this.
So it's only a minor war crime, it's it's okay.
You guys can just tape my eyeballs open. My boss keeps threatening to do that to me. I'm just saying. Guys, it's like he's trying to speak to me. I know it.
I think I hear words, maybe.
Maybe it's in Morse code.
Can you hear me? Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth?
Oh, dang it. It didn't.
I don't understand potato, Tina.
Tina, I paid $2 to advertise that you need to go watch Star Wars.
Oh my god. Cole!
Okay,
Why?
So but to kind of wrap it all off, though, with that, is that Sinclair's not dead, and that's what they wanted the takeaway, no matter if the reasoning was good for how they delivered it. I liked it. If I was watching it, which I totally did, I would believe it and not question it. I'm somebody who's pretty easy to please with shows, unless it's that's obviously not how that works. When I can't watch anything that has to do with hotels, because when they do it wrong, I know. 'Cause I work for Marriott. But anyways, do it right, or it offends me. But otherwise, I'm pretty easy to please.
Yeah,
Man.
it's interesting we got a scene with Sinclair here. I was really expecting to see more from Chase's mom and his sister, but we didn't see them at all.
I'm
They're
gonna
dead.
put money on
That's
it.
why.
No. I'm gonna put money on it that they're not. Because, they obviously I feel like the Union knew that Chase was important and tried to
Tina,
go
how
after
much?
him. What?
Well, we
How
saw
much money
his
are you putting
sister
on it?
in
5
the,
cents. 5 cents.
Five?
But who's to say
About
that?
a $2 super chat.
No. Who's to say that, Chase's sister and mom weren't of that same sort of mind wave or compatibility? His mom would probably be too old, but his sister would probably be just the right you know, I mean, Cammy is 17, so who's to say that his sister wouldn't have been qualified for that same program? But I don't know. That's just an assumption. I think they're not dead.
Can you understand me yet?
Yes.
Okay. So we skipped over something that I think is really important. So Genlock is rejoining the Vanguard. They're going to be stationed at Artasa. Leon's going to be admitted there for care, and Amigas is going to be joining them as their technician.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly we're going to get to spend some more time with Matt Hullum.
Yep.
And he's an interesting dude. But yeah, other than that, I think that just about wraps it up, unless anybody else had some stuff that they wanted to talk about before we started talking about like final takeaways and whatnot.
I believe by Matt Mullen you meant Grey Haddock, because I believe that's Grey Haddock who's playing.
Really
I think he
quick,
means
Tommy.
the CEO ESU guy.
Really quick, Tommy said in chat that they said that on the show they were killed. I'm one of those people that with Rooster Teeth, you can't believe it till you see a body or in an after discussion, they're like, yes, they are 100% dead.
Yeah, like Adam.
So don't trust Rooster Teeth. If there's not a service, there's not a funeral, they're not dead. Case example, Chase. Just saying.
I mean, to be fair, Sarge had a funeral when he was.
Look, you can't even trust them then. You can't trust them until you see their dead body somewhere, or they're like in the hole, like you see them like a hand hanging out or something.
Sarge had his own funeral critiquing their fucking eulogies. Oh my god.
One detail I read at the end of the, because like they go here as part of the Vanguard's attack on Chicago, right? They're trying to hold off the Union from taking Chicago, right? And we don't really see any of that fight because their whole thing is let's draw away, the evil mech so that we're not involved in this big fight. So we don't really see any of the battle for Chicago, basically. It's till right at when Chase takes, the robot up into the sky and slams him back down, and just in the background we see the not the anvil. What do they call the big weapon on the anvil?
Behemoth.
Well, yeah, the behemoth, but it gets shot by the hammer or something? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just see the hammer like from space.
Kind of just blow it to smithereens, yeah.
So, I think that about wraps it up. Do we have anything else we need to say? Or?
I really hope we get to see next season. Again, support Rooster Teeth. Go get a first account.
I want to say, so what are your final takeaways from this? So, first of all, I'll talk briefly about my final takeaways from this episode, right? Like I said earlier, I think that this episode needed to be like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
There was we've talked about issues of having to rush stuff because of runtime. On episodes, I think this one was probably the worst offender of that because I think the
poor Brian. I can't believe Brian friggin' died. I'm sorry, Brian. The world hates you today.
It really does.
That came through.
I feel like the part that at the beginning, we needed more time and Negus trying to find people and whatnot, not immediately finding people right off the bat. Maybe some more information about the Union going to Chicago, all that kind of stuff. I really would have liked that.
Yeah. I just wish there was more time. I really wanted to see more, and now I gotta wait possibly a year for more of this, and I'm really offended. But at least the good thing is, if they follow this upload schedule, I get to watch Ruby and then Genlock next year. I'm just hoping that that's what happens. I can't wait to see what they do next. Just Rooster Teeth as a whole, not just Genlock. I really love this series. So, yeah.
Hey, did somebody? Okay,
Hey,
somebody had
Brian.
forced back.
Hey, Brian.
Hello.
Nathaniel is screaming at you in the chat.
Saying to fix your laggy ass Wi-Fi.
Sweet
Nathaniel is screaming. Nathaniel's in the chat.
Yeah, Nathaniel's in the chat.
Hey,
Nathaniel,
Brian.
you don't know my fucking life. You don't know the struggles. Okay, deal with it.
Oh my God, Brian, swear jar.
He told you to call him back. But
The region is
texted
as
him.
close to Brian as it can get right now.
When I move to LA, things will theoretically be better.
Brian, I'm gonna need you to buy better Wi-Fi. Like, just
You
go
know-
to the internet and download some more Wi-Fi.
Tina, you have no idea. That is exactly what we've done. Like, we've tried. We've looked at the most expensive options, but the problem is there are none.
Oh, that
okay,
sucks.
I need to move to Discord real quick, guys.
But yeah, anyways, like, because my internet's being a piece of shit, I won't go into detail, but yeah, I just feel like this episode was incredibly rushed, and as a result, I think it lost a lot of its power. That being said, I still really, really enjoy the show. I think this show is very good. It has a lot of potential. The work that was done on it is absolutely mind-blowing. And yeah, I think I'll open it up to you guys for your thoughts on the show.
Tina, you're the guest. You go first.
Like I said, I really love Cammy. I think with like everyone else on the internet, I really wish we could have seen more character. I don't want to say development because I feel like they got developed. I just want to see more in betweens. I love that. I love the sort of like what's happening when there's not the end of the world going on every time. I loved Cammy's humor probably the most. They're all such dynamic characters and they work together in this beautiful way, and I just wanted to see more of that. Like I said, the fight sequences were this great song and dance. The animation style is so phenomenal. The 3D modeling from characters to environmental. There's so many parts. Did you guys look at all those names in the credits? Did you look at that
yeah.
amazing
Long
team?
credit scroll.
Like, do people not realize
They
what goes
outsourced
in?
sound design, which I've never seen done before.
But I
like-
mean, what kind of
they had their in-house team, and then they had a completely separate team somewhere else doing the other sound, which I've never seen that done before. That's pretty strange.
I mean, I almost see why, because they're limited to who they have internally. I think they can only do so much on a, at least I feel like they can recognize their limitations at points. Not saying the people they have aren't capable, but there was a lot and they had high expectations and they wanted to deliver those high expectations.
It made sense. Yeah. As somebody who has done sound design for giant robots before, let me tell you, that shit's fucking hard. Makes sense that got outsourced.
But all in all, at the end of the day, as someone who thoroughly loves animation, 3D modeling, environmental art, all those different concepts that go together, something as complex even as lighting, like all those elements come together to make this beautiful piece, and I just can't put it into words how amazing it is and how everyone just should support it. So if you like it and you like the show, and I'm gonna beat it to the ground and you're gonna hate me for it, support Rooster Teeth. Please. Like, I remember being a kid, 18, fresh out of high school, and just not wanting to pay for anything, trying to find the cheapest way, look for things online, pirate them, whatever. But stuff like that is how projects go under. Stuff like that is why things get canceled, because if you're not supporting it, and the 50,000 other people that whatever, I'm just saying, maybe you don't know that many people, aren't paying for it officially, do the math on how much money they're losing. How many people aren't able to work or sustain themselves or do whatever, or companies able to put money into a project. So that's all I'm going to say, because I've seen too many beautiful things not happen because people just want to pirate things. So,
please support the official release.
So
you support the official release.
Like, I just can't say it enough. Please, these guys are amazing. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Cole.
All right, so I'm sorry I'm gonna sound terrible. I'm in my car right now, driving, because it's short notice and Nathaniel's like, get over. So, but I love Genlock. I love it so much. It's a great show. I love all the characters. Like this is the first time like since Code Geass that I've been like, yeah, Mecha. But I'm like, yeah, Mecha. It's so good. I'm very, very excited to see where the show goes. I desperately hope that it gets picked up for a second season because there's so much potential here. These characters are amazing. This story is awesome. This concept is incredible. And I just want to talk about how much I love the show. And everyone can go watch it. Please go make a first account if you don't have one. Please.
Yes, please do it. Please. It's not expensive. Like, you can't even tell me you don't have that kind of money. You spend more money at McDonald's in a month.
It's literally less than $3 a month.
Listen, that's not like, come on, fam. Stop
3
buying the chicky
cheeseburgers
nuggies.
or an RT subscription this month.
Put down the
Oh
chicky
my
nuggies
God.
for one meal, okay, and support Rooster Teeth. I'm getting that put on a shirt. Put down the nuggies, support Rooster Teeth.
Put the nuggets down, sir.
Hey, Ian, what are your thoughts?
Come on, damn it! I want a second season already. You're telling me all we get is 8? Fuck!
All right, guys, shout out to Tommy who's had a first account since they turned 18.
Yay!
Hey, good on you.
Hey.
Yeah, but like Jesus Christ, this show is. There are very few shows that make me this excited. The other one that has made me this excited was The West Wing. That is the only other show that I have been
It's a
this
very different
excited
show.
for.
Very different show.
It's a very different show, but it no less an excellent one, I must say. So, it's so rare for me to be this invested. Please let us get another season, please.
Oh, I'm betting there's going to
What-
be another season.
What I will say is I haven't gotten this excited over a show. Like the only shows I've gotten this excited over are Ruby and Rising of the Shield Hero. And Ruby is pretty self-explanatory. I do an abridged for it. I feel like I'm okay to get hyped for that. Shield Hero is amazing. If you haven't watched it, please go watch it and read the manga. If you get too excited to watch the show.
Or read the light novel because that's the actual source material. I don't know why you're not reading the actual source material.
Oh,
Cole.
shut up.
What are we talking about? How did we get on Rising? What? How? How did we get on Shield Hero?
Okay. It's just a show that I'm excited about, okay? It's freaking great. You should all go watch it. But before you do that, we'll make a first account like 37 times.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
let's see. Forrest, have you said your thing?
I think everybody else has said it for me. It's a good show. Go watch it.
Okay. Bo, do you have some final
Yay.
thoughts for us? I know you're our techie, but I know you like to speak your mind.
I do indeed.
I
Make sure
won't be
I'm
like-
yes, I'm unmuted on the stream. This show means so much to me, and being not really an active member but an active watcher of the small kind of niche community that it's created on Tumblr and whatnot. Like, this show means so much to a lot of people, especially people like myself, people that are in the LGBT community, people who identify with these characters in more ways than one. And I think that it's a very important show. It says things that need to be said without them being boom in your face. It does representation really well. And I really hope we get to see more of it.
Yeet.
Yeah.
Also, I was right about Leon.
Called it.
Those freaking
So that brings us to, I think, the end. And for anybody who has stuck around, especially through that beginning mess,
Well, you
Oh, did
Cole-
Cole go ace face?
I think Cole did.
Cole went
It's
ace face.
spreading.
It's
Oh,
contagious.
now we're really gonna get struck in for copyright infringement.
But yeah, so like we talked about toward the beginning of the podcast, we're going to be going on a hiatus for a couple weeks as we wait for the next season of anime. And for anybody who watches anime seasonally, please let us know what you're going to be watching, what you would be interested in.
Oh,
Uh-oh. You went full-on robot there, my dude.
Ace face. Strikes
a
again.
face.
So, where should they contact us, Bride, if they want to get in touch with us to watch something for next season?
why are you asking Brian questions?
You know what? I hadn't really thought that through. I'll admit that right now.
Well, while Brian gets back on topic, I just wanted to say thank you guys for letting me be the tech person for this. I was really excited to get to be a part of it, no matter how small my role was. So thank you for having me and letting me do that for you guys.
It was no small role, let me tell you.
No. Do you know how many technical difficulties we have? Like,
How many
Do you
we're
know how
having
we-
currently?
No, this
Yes.
is much less than we had before, I promise.
I feel like when we become a real production company, we should just be named Technical Difficulties.
I don't think that will be a good idea. For some reason.
I mean, marketing wise, no, but accuracy on.
Wait, I'm receiving a message in Morse code from Brian. We'll be looking into shows by the name of Attack on Titan, whatever that is. It's only gotten, it's only on its third season, part 2. And if you want to, put in some suggestions for the following season, please put it in the comments below. We'll be sure to look through them. And, if any of them have any staying power, which we'll find out when, the shows start airing in the next several weeks, we will decide and
Ian,
we'll go watch those.
they could also.
Yeah, can people?
The people could also put suggestions in the suggestion box on the Krwby Productions Discord server.
Oh, hey, well, how about that?
Can people hear me yet?
Yes.
Maybe.
Okay.
yes.
Okay, so definitely let us know. We're not just like, we've been talking about Attack on Titan, but one of the reasons why we're kind of on the fence about Attack on Titan is the fact that it's the second half of Season 3 that's coming back, because Season 3 went on hiatus. So we're a little unsure about, just dropping into the middle of Season 3, especially if people haven't watched and they need to catch up. That's a lot to catch up on.
I've never
there are
seen
some
Attack on
compilation
Titan.
movies.
It's good.
So,
That's a shame. You got a lot of source material to start with.
Whew.
But yeah, so we'll be looking into Attack on Titan. We've also talked about some other shows that look good. Yeah, definitely let us know in the comments down below what you guys are looking forward to and what you guys think you would like us to follow next.
I also wanted to say thanks for having me, guys. It's always been fun being on here. So
It's always a pleasure to have you here, Tina. You, like every one of our guests who have all been awesome, you are more than welcome to come back once we resume our regular streaming schedule, when we know what we're actually going to be streaming.
When we know what we're doing.
yeah. In the meantime, again, guys, if you're not in the Discord server, the link is down below. You should join, because that's where we'll post all of those updates, no matter what it is, from the abridged to whatever the next show talk is going to be between all these lovely dudes here, or whatever, whatever we're doing. It's in the Discord. Be there. Be square.
And you might as well do a little plug while we're here. If you like stuff like our VR shorts, or Ruby Abridged, or World of Remnant Abridged, or our comic dubs, you know what really helps us do that stuff? Money. So
Yeah.
if you wanted to donate to our Patreon, that would be super. Not necessary, but helpful.
Yeah, and then, if maybe you don't want to commit to a monthly thing, that's fine. We understand that. We have that PayPal that hops on there too. Do super chat so you can scream things at us and force us to read it out in streams. That's also funny. There's several ways you can do this. Or you know what, just come hang out with us, have a good time, because the support means the world to us, and just having awesome members in the community is always enjoyable. But again, money kind of helps us buy new things we don't have, and do what Rooster Teeth is doing with Genlock. Maybe not as extreme, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try our best. We like to make bigger and better things. So someday we want to move to animation. That takes a lot of people and money and people. People like getting paid, surprisingly.
We
It's
get
a
paid?
little surprising.
Not yet.
Oh, we get paid? What? Where's my paycheck, James? I know you're in chat. I'm expecting it in my inbox tomorrow. I want you to email me a check. That's how this works, right? That's how money works.
Yeah, let him get on his banking app and send you a check.
Alright, email me a check because that's how this works. James goes, well, swear word. Fuck.
Alright. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been really fun following Genlock. Yeah, we'll see you in the next few weeks, I guess. Alright.
Yeah. Love
Bye!
you guys. Boo-doo-boo, boo-doo-boo.
Goodbye, my fellow degenerates.
Bye.